Hi folks, super excited about joining my friends at Simplify Compliance and BLR for this series on employee retention. This is a super hot topic right now. In fact, I saw an article recently where CEOs actually cited it as one of their top concerns for 2021. So the timeliness of this series is right on, and super excited about being able to join you for it. The first thing I look at when I think about employee retention is really looking at the landscape. What are those workforce economics that are driving the employment circumstances of individuals? And we look at three numbers. Obviously, we look at unemployment, but we also look at the job openings, and then thirdly, we look at the quit rate, or voluntary turnover. All three of these statistics can be found at the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I keep an eye on them several times a month, so that's what we're going to be focusing on. So first of all, unemployment. So how many people are out of the workforce? Obviously, prior to the pandemic, we were at historical lows, around 3.5%. That number bloomed during the pandemic to almost 15%. So a lot of folks out of the workforce. That number started to stabilize and go down throughout last year. We're sitting at about 5.8% right now, so we've got a fairly large number of employees still out of the workforce, but it is starting to improve, and so that is a good sign for the economy. Secondly, we look at the job openings. Historically, job openings have been, or just prior to the pandemic, were around 7 million open jobs. This was a very high number historically, and then clearly during the pandemic, that number went down. It was around 5 million in April and May of last year, and then certainly started to trend back up as the year went out. Now we're seeing record numbers. We're seeing just shy of 10 million open jobs right now in the U.S. according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is a huge number, and this is employers really clamoring for employees. So there is clearly competition going on out there. Employers need to find people, and that's where the quit rate comes into play. So this is a measurement of voluntary turnover in the U.S., and this number historically has been around 2.6 million on average on a monthly basis of employees that were willing to quit their jobs and left to go somewhere else typically. That number obviously went down, way down during the pandemic, but surprisingly went up quite a bit in the second half of the year. But we did find that a lot of those folks were leaving for health and family reasons. They were retiring out of the workforce. What we're seeing now is something I think very different, and that is employees are quitting and going to work in other places. In fact, in April, we saw the number of people that left their jobs voluntarily at about 4 million. And that is the highest number recorded by the Bureau of Labor Statistics in the month of April. So clearly this market is heating up. We want to make sure that we're looking at the overall landscape that we're competing in, and right now that competition is red hot. Look forward to presenting some more information to you on employee retention as this series continues. But keep in mind, unemployment, what are the number of open jobs, and what is that quit rate, so that we can really understand our workforce economics and the landscape that we're competing in. Thanks so much. See you next time.